Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! Seconds from game 7 or from championship number 6. Short, open, Chicago with the lead! Behind the screen, Harper got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship. Tying run at second, 2 out, Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it, and to the middle with the 15, to the 20, breaks free of the 25, to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5.
For the 3rd time in 6 seasons, it's one goal achieved. The Chicago Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup. A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it through to Rizzo. It's in time, and the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Make sure you go to our YouTube page. And if you're watching us on our YouTube page, excellent! And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube, for real, come on, guys, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell next to it, and that'll let you know anytime we show. Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, you can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online, want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok, all one handle at the Shawn Sierra. Listen, I got a great show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook or YouTube, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here in the thread. We'll put it up on a screen. We'll incorporate into the show, and that, my peoples, so it makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around, and that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. Like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. Let us check the chat, see how we're doing. Chat is jumping already. I like it. I like that kind of party. I mean, Armando Emeterio, Lara Jr., Shawn going to Dito's winter play. We'll watch later. Oh, Armandito. Nice. Very nice. Very nice, Pop Pop. That's my man Junior's nickname, Pop Pop. That's awesome. Armandito, excellent. Black Diamonds in the house. Go top of the morning game. FGB. What? FGB. Shawn, I pulled some strings with the catering. I'll be there next Saturday. Oh, no shit. Great. Black Diamond's going to be in the house next Saturday. I'm telling you, this shit's going to be lit. Going to be lit. Going to be lit. Cornelius Squalls in the house. What up, what up, what up? Shawn and Sports Owners. Big game Sunday. FGB. What? FGB. What? Yes. Mr. Southside himself, Michelle Walls, is in the Mickey Ficky house. What's up on the Mickey Ficky? TGIF, bear down, FGB, baby. FGB. That's what I'm talking about. Joseph Archer checking in. What's up, Baba? What's up, everybody? Let's Mickey Ficky go. Bear, beat that ass. FGB, bear down. I like it. I like it a lot. Is it Spigar or Spegar? Chad Spegar. Chad Spegar Sports. Chad, what's up, Papa? Say good morning, Shawn. Big test for our O-line on Sunday. Gee, that's an understatement, Chad. That is an understatement. That is a big understatement. But you know what? Spigar. I would say Spigar because usually 2 G's would designate a short E, not a long E. So Spigar. Spigar. Chad Spigar. Chad Spigar. Okay, cool. Thank you. I don't want to mispronounce your name. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Listen, I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know there's more of the usual suspects will chime in as the show goes on. That, my peoples, I can promise you. Listen. We got a great show. 10 o'clock, my man Lorin Cox from the Locked On Bears podcast is going to join us. We're going to break down. We're going to preview Browns at Bears on Sunday, high noon. 20 degree below temps on the lakefront. Ooh, Charlie. It's going to be cold. Going to be cold. Ooh-wee. So Lorin Cox is going to join us at 10 o'clock. We have a lot to talk. One thing I missed on Wednesday from Tuesday, but we'll talk about that as well. So we have a lot of sports to talk, so make sure you keep it locked here, baby. I am fired up. I want to talk a little bit. Oh, I got a little fuzzy. So here's what I need to. People are in their feelings so much. Too damn much. Okay. So one thing you can say about me. When there's an area that needs to be critiqued, I'll critique it. When there's a chance to congratulate or heap praise on one of our players, teams, organizations, I give out praise. Okay? You guys know this. You guys know I'm not see me. I've been very honest about my feelings for the Cubs, my analysis for the Cubs, my personal bias for them and their fan base doesn't get in the way. Very clinical explanation and analysis for the Cubs and all the sports teams, really. But just you can see it because you know I'm a Sox fan. Oh, sorry. Then people are so salty. All right, the Caleb cult. Oh my goodness gracious. The Caleb cult gets mad when I critique Caleb Williams. Leave him alone. He's a rookie. He's a de facto rookie. First year, last year didn't mean anything. Blah 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 blah. We finally got a quarterback, and all you want to do is tear him down. Blah 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 blah. Leave him alone. And I'm like, first of all, pull your tampon out, pull your panties out of a bunch. Okay, for starters, relax. I critique every single person. I critique my guy Lewis Robert. You know, I was a big fan of Yoel Moncada. I critiqued him. I critiqued Tim Anderson. I critiqued Justin Fields. I critiqued DJ Moore last year when he decided to step off the field. Everybody gets it. Everybody gets it. Whether you're my guy or not, you get it. And if you do well, I give you praise. But people are so upset when I critique him, and everyone says, and it's interesting how people who haven't played at a high level or coached at a high level say, well, you just don't know ball. And I said, well, listen, I've got 45 seasons of football experience in me. I think I know a little ball. And when I critiqued Caleb on that last play, on that fourth down play, wow, so many people came after me. He couldn't throw. What do you want him to throw the ball all the way across the body? And the hyperbole. Oh, my goodness, the hyperbole, the exaggeration. I'm like, first of all, when you say throw it across your body, you're insinuating that you're going across the hash. He's on one side of the field. He's throwing it across the other side. It's not. And also, what I did say was that, yes, bad decision by Caleb. Bad decision, bad throw. But I also said, and here's why I get annoyed. But I also said, every single experience that he has, good, bad, horrible, phenomenal, mediocre, average, every experience he has is forging him into the quarterback that we hoped he would be. Someone got mad because I said, I'm glad he failed. Well, you know what? Sometimes you got to learn the hard way. Welcome to life. That's football, but that's life. How many times have we had to learn shit the hard way? We're guys. We like to learn things the hard way, okay? No diddy. So you got to get out of your feelings. All the things that are happening, again, are forging this young man to be the franchise quarterback most people anticipated him to be when they drafted him. Okay? For example, when you're a kid, and the parents said, don't do this. It's usually just for us boys because we're slow. They would say, don't touch that, that's hot. Don't touch that, that's hot. Do not touch that, that's hot. How many times have they told you? Well, it's the radiator. Remember we had old school radiators and shit. We had the big metal cover on the radiator, so the cover was hot. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Or you're about to eat food. Blow on your food. It's hot. Don't be careful. Don't eat it. It's hot. Blow on your food. We just didn't listen. We didn't listen until we put the food in our mouth. Like, water. Okay. Or we touched the radiator like, that hurt. And we started crying like, síguele. Por pendejo, eh? Like I told you. Guess what? When they told us the food was hot again, we made sure that it was cooled off before we put it in our mouth. When they told us not to touch the radiator, we didn't touch the radiator. We had to learn the hard way. This is what Caleb is going through. Some things he learns the easy way, others he learns the hard way. But the end game is he learned. End game is he understands after that experience, he understands I have a little more time to get to the sideline. I have a little more time to see if anybody else can break free. So don't get all in your feelings when I criticize. And I'm going to criticize him. I'm very harsh on him because he's the number 1 overall pick. He's the number 1 overall pick. A lot of expectations are placed on him. He has a lot of work to do. He has to get used to playing in structure, which he has done. See here, I'm giving him credit more. Caleb Cox. He has shown marked improvement playing in structure from week 1 to now to 9:17 a.m. Friday, December 12th. He has shown marked improvement from playing in structure. He's still not 100% comfortable with it, but come on, do you expect that to happen in less than a season? No. It's not. It might not happen until next year, the end of next year, which is when he should start getting close to mastering this offense anyway. There have been phenomenal strides from this young man. And I'm telling you, the most important thing that he's going to have to learn is to be methodical. And when you are methodical, it means you take what they give you. Take what they give you and make them pay. If they're giving you slants, you take the slants. If they're giving you hitches, you take the hitches. If they're giving you the curl routes because they're playing soft coverage or they're bailing, then you get them with the curl routes. and be okay with an 8-yard pass, a 6-yard pass, a 3-yard slant. Because don't forget, we have guys who can make plays. When he's comfortable doing that, saying, I ain't worried about throwing 15 yards down the field, 20 yards down the field. I'm going to get to my guys here, here, here. Let them do the work. When he gets comfortable doing that and knows how to use them as ultimate weapons, I said this before, this offense is going to be damn near unstoppable, especially with the way the run game is going. Black Diamond said, Shawn, I stopped arguing with fools. The Caleb Colts are not Bear fans, they're Caleb fans. Yeah. Chad says, Black Diamond, what's crazy is any criticism and people lose it, which is crazy to me also. Yeah. Junior, methodical. That's it. That's it. Man, and Junior, my guy Junior knows, because, man, when we were at the Chargers in 99, that was 26 years ago. Holy shit. 26 years ago. Like we would have drives like that. It wasn't always a big play. It was a run here, run there, a quick hitch, a quick slant, a curl, a dig, all the way down the field and score. And sometimes it happened fast because we take a slant, go 30. We'd run a lead, go 30. Chad, I couldn't agree with you more. He says he still has more to learn. He does. He does. That's the crazy part about it. He's playing at a very high level at times. And he still has a lot to learn. Wait till he learns it. Wait till he's on the path to learning it. Holy cow. My man King Book of World checking in. Says, salute everybody. And Shawn, what's up, Papa? How are you, man? Thanks to see you. Great to see you. And that's it right there, Black Diamond. He says, it's like we can't be honest in what we're seeing. Yes, we have to be honest. If you want this team, you want this offense to be great, then you must be honest. You must notice and you must be aware of every situation where we can improve, or we're not up to snuff. And that's so, and it starts with the quarterback. And the funny thing is, he wants it that way too. He wants it that way too. He's talked about he's happy to be Coach Hard. He's talked about he's happy to have Ben Johnson as his coach, coming to play for him every day. He's talked about it. So, listen, if I came on here and said, oh, Caleb sucks, Caleb this, Caleb that, oh, he's horrible, he can't make a throw, that's another story. Never denied his talent. Never denied his potential. I've critiqued and criticized some of the decisions that he's made. With the overall big picture understanding that even the bad decisions that he makes are forging him to be a better quarterback. Even those bad decisions probably are forging him faster than the successes. Because we learn a hell of a lot more from our failures than we do our successes. That's for God blessed sure. So let's be honest with what we're seeing. I mean, or do we have to preface it by saying, I still think Caleb can take us to a Super Bowl. I just want him to do better, blah, blah, blah. So we gotta kiss his ass, kiss your asses, people, Caleb Colt, so you don't get mad? Well, sorry, I'm on all the ass kissing favors right now. All right, this is the alpha sport of alpha sports. We're not going to tone it down for you because your feelings get hurt. This is football. Okay, this is football. It's upfront, blunt, in your face. No Diddy. This is how I played. This is how I coach. This is how I critique. This is how players play. They coach and they critique. Listen to the message. Listen to what's being said. Not that it's being said against your guy. Is what is being said accurate? Is the critique of him only to make him a better quarterback? On what he can do better? If it is, then why are you complaining? Because you should want him to get better too. The Caleb coach should really want him to get better. They should really want him to start living the potential, because then they can start talking shit to everybody who were Justin fans. So you should really want the critique of him and have him work on those critiques. See, the awesome part is he's making these mistakes and we're still winning. We're not winning because of Caleb. Caleb is a part of the reason we're winning. He's not the reason we win. Now, not yet. Not yet. That time's coming. That time's coming. Shawn says Caleb's still getting criticized for accuracy issues. Yes, that's an issue. Because if Caleb can get more accurate and hit these receivers in stride, guess what? We're getting a lot of yak. We're getting a lot of yards after catch. And we won't have as many third down situations as possible. King Book of World, yes. And this is why I have my respect for him grows by the day. King Book of World says, everything I've heard people defend about Caleb, Caleb himself, has said he has to do better. He knows what he needs to do better. Trust me, Ben Johnson has told him where he needs to improve. So if we're saying it as analysts, if we're saying this as analysts, and he's echoing what we're saying, why are you getting mad? He's echoing exactly what it is we're saying. But I'll tell you what. So get your panties out of a bunch, because I'm not going to stop. I will say this, as I've said before. The Bears are in a very good position, very good spot right now. Green Bay loses to Denver. We win. We're back atop the NFC North. The Rams are playing the Lions. If the Lions can do us a favor, guess what? We're back atop the NFC North, and we're back up close to the number one seed in the NFC. So let's also think about the timing of that loss. That could have been a perfect time for that team to lose, for our Bears to lose. You know why? Because you were riding on a high. You had an emotional loss with the opportunity to tie and or win if you decide to go for two, which they said they were. Now you got to refocus. You got to refocus. You got 4 games. And in these 4 games, you don't hold all. You control your destiny to a certain extent. You win, you're in. If you win, you're an NFC North champion, because it means you're going to beat the Packers. It means you're going to beat the Lions. Okay, so you're going to be NFC North champ. So you have that in your hands. That's under your control. Now the other 2 games, all right, you're going to need a little help with Detroit beating the Rams. Okay, and some other teams, maybe Seattle to fall one more time for us to get the number 1 seed. But we win the North if we win out. Black Diamond says, Shawn, would you say a lot of his accuracy issues are due to bad footwork? And if so, wouldn't that fall on Barrett? Some of it is footwork. Some of it is thinking. Some of it's thinking. He's overthinking. Okay? You notice very rarely when he's out of structure, he's running around, does he throw a bad pass? A lot of those passes are dimes. Why? Because he's not thinking. He's just playing. And that's him getting used to playing in structure. His footwork has a lot to do with it, but it's not the only thing. And his footwork, he's not comfortable yet at times. You can just watch his feet. He's not comfortable yet at times. Okay? And there's times when it's 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, and we need a big play because we got to go down and score. And you see, he sits back there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bounce, rips the throw right to where it needs to be. Now he's just got to get more comfortable doing that on a regular basis. All right, he's got to get more comfortable stepping up in the pocket. See, everyone would criticize Justin for bailing out and running. Oh, Justin would run and run. Justin would have pulled it down and run. But guess what? Caleb does that too. And Caleb has a much better offensive line than Justin ever had, or that Caleb had last year. He's got to understand that he's got time. What he really has to learn, and this is the best thing, is if he can learn how to maneuver in the pocket. Step up, a step to the right, a step to the left, step back. Not bail out the back, not spin out. Step up into the pocket and kind of replace where the pressure's coming from. Step up. Pressure's coming from your right. You step up and then you kind of lean to your right. Why? Because the guy just passed you. You get pressure from behind. Step up, slide to the left. And it's literally only 1 or 2 steps. It's literally only step up, boop, boop, 2 steps to the left, buys you time. Those are the things he's got to work on. But remember, he hasn't played in structure often. And when you're a quarterback who's played in structure, you're used to maneuvering in the pocket. Peyton Manning was amazing at it. Drew Brees, who's about as tall as Caleb, was amazing at it, especially climbing the pocket. Tom Brady was amazing. Tom Brady ran a 5-something 40. But his ability to move an inch here, move a step or two there, move a step or two there, bought him an extra second or two to deliver daggers. And that's where Caleb's got to get. And Rome wasn't built in a day. Rome wasn't built in a day. So this is one of the things. This is why I say enjoy the process. The good, the bad, the ugly, the shitty, the excellent, the amazing, the mind-blowing, the head-scratching. Enjoy it all. Because everything is forging Caleb into the quarterback we anticipated him to be when the Bears drafted him number 1 overall. Cornelius, you are correct, sir. He says the more comfortable Caleb gets in his offense, the quicker he'll get through his reads, and the more accurate he'll become. Yeah, because he won't think. He's going to, okay, boom, boom, got it, boom. He's not going to think. And that's what we have to get him to stop doing, and the only way to do it is through reps, game reps. You can't have any more game reps than the 17 that we have on the docket this year. So the more he plays, the more comfortable he gets, and the easier it's going to be for him to start hitting those things. I would imagine. I would hope. As a Bear fan, I would hope. Black Diamond says, I agree. He looks right all the time. Yeah, he does. He does. Just got to get used to it. That's it. Well, listen. Let me take a quick break. Let me get the warden off the CrossFit. All right, on the other side of the break, we'll definitely get to our top of the morning topics. All right, so don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here, ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago.
Operator 901, where's the emergency?
127 Brymere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushrooms.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency
Do you
line.
know how long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am. Is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Every day, we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
No, I don't know though. I'm scared. I mean, you're so...
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
Puck didn't come with him, but he's still back there. Bouncing puck. Crevier from an angle. Pump check. Score!
As Crevier couldn't get it the first time. Good pressure out high by McCabe. And then can't get it that time, but able to push it ahead. Crevier coming from the outside. Watch the little backhand. Shesterkin tries to poke check, but such a long reach. Great hands by the big defenseman as he's able to shovel it in with a backhand.
But they've been very on point here tonight.
Burakovsky to the front for Bedard, and he scores!
To gain speed in the neutral zone. They haven't been checked well enough by the Rangers. And watch Bedard come right down the middle, stick on the ice against the best defenseman of the Rangers in Gavrikov. He gets puck watching. Bedard gets his stick down and able to chip that right into the top corner.
Welcome back to Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago. Those tips courtesy of TNT. Those to the Blackhawks are a big win against the New York Rangers. New Yorkers, we're talking like this. Mr. Shorty in the house, Shawn, my man's in them. Now that's funny. That is funny. He's like, top of the morning today. Once again, I'm in a meeting and you are muted, so I can't hear you. FGB, FAR, LCBC. Very nice. Very nice. Let's get a crack-a-lackin', baby. You know how we do the first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
See the first top of the morning topic. Which way do we go? Which way do we go? Which way do we go? Start with what we saw. We just saw on the screen. The Blackhawks, baby. What it is, yo. What's up? Blackhawks beat the New York Rangers 3-0. Spencer Knight stopped all 21 shots he faced. Crevier lit the lamp for the third time this season. Connor Bedard, a goal and an assist, his 19th of the season, his 23rd helper on the year. And Tyler Bertuzzi lit the lamp for the 16th time this season. Staying with the Blackhawks, the next top of the morning topic, the Blackhawks are in the Lou, hanging out with Nelly and St. Lunatics tonight to face the Blues. Puck drop is at 7 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on ESPN Plus or Hulu, or listen to it on their flagship station, 7:20 a.m. Hope he said it was up to the Lunatics. I wonder if they're wearing Air Force Ones. Just a question. Oh. Just a question. The next top of the morning topic, the Bulls, who suck and have lost 7 in a row, are in Charlotte tonight to face the Hornets. Tip-off is at 6 p.m. Central. You can catch that game at Chicago Sports Network or listen to it on their flagship station, 6:70 a.m. The Bulls are looking to get off the schneid. They haven't played since Monday. And looking to get off the schneid, man. They need to do something. They need to do something. So, see. We'll see what they can do. Maybe they can. Someone will play some defense, get a hand in the passing lane. Is the big thing is Zach Collins going to be available to be our de facto rim protector? We don't have a rim protector. Great. So I don't know. The next top of the morning topic. I didn't talk about this on Wednesday, and I should have, because Tuesday was a big thing. The White Sox have the number 1 overall pick in the upcoming MLB draft. Wow. Wow. And according to most outlets, this is the top prospect coming out. His name is Rock Chalowski, nice little Polish kid. He'll fit in well on the south side. Shortstop from UCLA. Named Player of the Year. And, man, so what do? You put Colson Montgomery, you move him to third? Is that what you do? Because this kid is one hell of a talent. One hell of a talent. And it's crazy. You know, you're stockpiling youngsters, which is what you should do, especially when you have the number 1 overall pick. Is this guy going to be, they said since 2005, he's the best shortstop prospect since 2005. Is it Troy Tulowitzki? I'm not sure. I think. I'm not positive. But I think that's where this guy is. And I'll tell you what. You have a lot to thank for this. You know who you need to thank? This guy right here. This guy right here. Leo. Papa. El Papa. Ever since this guy's taken over in Rome, in the Vatican, a lot of things are going well for Chicago sports. Your Cubs made the playoffs, Cub fans. The White Sox got the number 1 overall pick. The Blackhawks are playing inspired hockey. The Bulls started off well. I think God had other stuff. He couldn't really focus on the Bulls. It was after their initial start. And the Bears are one win and a Green Bay loss away from regaining control of the NFC North. Telling you, call it a coincidence if you want. I don't call it coincidence. I call it divine intervention. Divine intervention. Because, man, this was something that to have all these good things happen is dope. Have all these good things happen to our Chicago sports teams is dope. Because I don't know if you remember. Do you remember? Back in the early 2000s when the Bulls and the Blackhawks would make the playoffs. You remember that, the time? You remember that? Those were the days. I remember specifically because I was teaching at Curie, and we would have one of the things that I wanted to do and I thought was important. Now, Curie has over 200 teachers. All right, it's the second largest high school in the city in CPS after Lane Tech. All right, over 3,000 kids. So one of the things I'm like, let's just do some bonding. Let's get out of here. Let's meet outside. We don't want professional developments. We have PDs all the time at school, and they'll have a little lunch for some people but you're still in the building. In the building. So I had gone to this bar plenty of times, became good friends with the owner, Joe Guidey. And there's a bar right down the street, right down Archer, from Curie called Guidey's. A little over a mile down, but everybody knows where it's at because sometimes people go there for lunch. Many people live not too far and they've been there, whatever. He has a back room. So I said, hey, Joe, I was like, can we get we have a viewing party, like a staff viewing party. Bulls and Hawks. He had a lot of TVs, one Bulls, one Hawks, one Bulls, one Hawks, alternate. And we had a lot of those there. And we had, because the Bulls and the Blackhawks were playoff bound. I want us to get back to that. I think we're in a good spot. But I digress. Next top of the morning topic, we didn't talk about this at all. Man. Woo, Charlie. University of Michigan fires Sharon Moore, their head coach, for an inappropriate relationship. The details as they are coming out now are crazy. Stone Walls, this is funny. If you smell what the Rock is cooking. Rock Chalosky, yep. King Booker Wells said, instead of watching the Bulls, you can rearrange the pantry from the light beans to dark beans. Well, you'll have more fun. You'll have more fun. That's hilarious. Oh, my goodness. So the details are coming out about this. All right? So he had an affair with a staffer, a white lady, that apparently many people knew about. Apparently he got her pregnant, forced her to get an abortion, then doubled her salary. When this hit, right now, Coach Moore was being held in custody because apparently after the news broke, he went to her house, broke in, allegedly, held a knife to his own neck, claiming he would kill him and her. Said she ruined his life, blah, blah, blah. These are all reports, multiple reports. And the funny thing, not the funny, let me not say that. The interesting thing is that the young lady who he impregnated is the daughter of one of the Bears scouts. Okay. The Chicago connection there. Her dad is a scout for the Chicago Bears. Now he's got a wife and kids. And those are the people that I'm really hurting for. Look, you're a grown man. You knew what you were doing. Okay? You know what you're doing. You know exactly what you're doing. Okay? I'm not going to come down on him. Okay? Many men have had extramarital affairs or extra affairs, even if you're just had a girlfriend, you went outside and dated or were asleep, had a side piece. Many men have done that. So for me to come down and critique him and call him any kind of derogatory remark would be hypocritical. Unfortunately, when I was in my younger days, I was a little crazier. But my heart goes out to those kids because this is such a public incident. And they have to go to school. And kids can be very cruel. And they're going to have to deal with the transgressions of their father by kids at school. The wife. Embarrassing for her. So you made your bed, now you lie in it. No pun intended. Because he's already lied in the bed. Literally and figuratively. But it's just crazy the amount of information that's coming out and how many people knew and his mental state at this particular point. So again, my thoughts and prayers go to his wife, probably soon to be ex-wife, and his kids for the embarrassment that they were put through in this situation. That's crazy. Yeah, my son, all is on him. You chose to lay down with her. You chose it. Okay. King Booker says, how you going to hold a knife up to your own neck and say, I'll kill us both? Should have said after you. After you, sir. King Booker also says, true, kids are brutal. And then what about the parents, too? The parents, I mean, let's be honest. He's making a couple $1 million a year. His kids are going to really nice schools, really good schools, predominantly white schools, I would imagine. Okay, you got the Karens, you have the stay-at-home moms who don't do shit because their husband is million of this, CEO that. And they are going to be the joke, the butt of every single joke. And she drops her kids off at school. She picks them up. You know? It's tough. Again, I feel for those kids, man. That really, really, really sucks. Here's another here's a crazy. The next top of the morning topic. This is nuts. The Colts have signed 44-year-old Phillip Rivers to their practice squad. He was retired. He came out of retirement. And I agree, Steve-O. Steve-O said she should take some blame also because it takes two. Yeah. So that staffer, she knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing. You knew he was married. You knew he had kids, but yet you chose to do that anyway. So you're not getting out of this unscathed either, young lady. You're not getting out of this unscathed. We can go back to that in a minute. But Phillip Rivers, 44 years old, man, he might start. They might just talk to him, maybe activate him from the practice squad. And dude, this is insane. "44 years old." And what's very interesting is that Cam Newton took some shots and he said it was a slap in his face. He says, "I've stayed in shape." He goes, "All you got to do is look at my Snapchat, my Instagram. I stay in shape." And you go get a 44-year-old Phillip Rivers. He goes, you could have called me and I would have been happy. Also, 44-year-old grandfather. He might be a great grandfather. He's got like 17 kids. He might have like 8 kids, maybe 10. Actually, let's find out. How many kids does Phillip Rivers have? We're going to find out. That's how many. Here. Phillip Rivers and his wife Tiffany have 10 children, 7 daughters and 3 sons. The daughters, Hallie, Caroline, Grace, Sarah, Rebecca, Claire, Anna. And the 3 sons are Gunnar, Peter, Andrew. Hallie's 20. Oh my God, look at this. Hallie's 23, Caroline's 20, Grace is 19, Gunnar's 17, Sarah's 15, Peter's 14, Rebecca's 12, Claire's 10, Anna's 6, and Andrew's 2. That is insane. His oldest child could be, well, she can't play in the NFL because she's a woman, but that's crazy. That, my friends, is insane. Steve-O says, "Papa gonna be broke." That's why he's going back to play. That's why he's going back to play. So let's see, I get 4 game checks. I'll be getting a couple mil. The contract, for the year would be $1 million. A couple mil probably. So break that up into 17 weeks. Give me 4 of those paychecks. How much is Daddy going to make? That is insane. Hey, it's a good gig if you can get it. Good gig if you can get it. That's crazy. That is nuts. Hopefully he didn't spend all his millions. Let's see how much he earned in his NFL career. How much did Phillip Rivers earn in his NFL career? Oh my goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Phillip Rivers earned over $243 million in career earnings during his NFL career. So just take half of that. Just take half of that, Uncle Sam. You're talking $120 million. Just for spits and giggles. Let's go with 100 mil. Yeah, I think you're good. I don't think your 10 kids and any grandkids you have are going to be starving anytime soon. Not with 100 mil. That's insane. Well, listen, we got to take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, we're going to welcome my guy, Lorin Cox. He is the host of the Locked On Bears podcast. And we're going to preview this matchup on Sunday on the lakefront. Browns, Bears. So keep it locked right here, folks. Lorin Cox coming up next on the other side of the break on ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings. I have my dogs. They're the best. I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books. I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
It's a romance sport. What? It's a romance sport like that.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, no matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Everybody in a work zone is someone somebody.
This is my mom. She works for KDOT.
This is my dad.
This is my mom.
This is my daddy.
This is my sister.
This is my daddy.
This is my son, Scott. He was killed while working in a highway work zone. When you drive through a work zone, drive like a life depends on it. Because it does.
Makes the play in a third and long for Love. Stands in, zips it, and it's intercepted. Another turnover. C.J. Gardner-Johnson has it. Looking for blocks, and he's inside the 40. 3rd and 3. Williams rolling, in trouble. Here comes Gary. Throws one. It's caught. Luther Burden on the cross, and a beautiful throw and play from Caleb Williams. Williams on the fake. Looking deep, not there, in trouble, runs away again, and now rifles one deep, and it's caught! A dart to Cole Kmet on the run. Play fake, Williams looking, throwing, it is caught! Touchdown!
The idea of getting Caleb out
outside of the pocket. He's been so dangerous all day. Drops it down barely through the arms of Nixon in coverage.
Welcome back to ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. Those comes courtesy of Fox. Tell you what, that was just an amazing throw, and even better catch, because he had to deal with them going through the hands of the defender. Still keep an eye on it, still corral it, still control it, get a knee down. Amazing play. Wow. Let's bring in my guy. He is the host of the Lockdown Bears podcast. He's an Isley brother enthusiast. You can find him on Twitter at Cox Sports One, like Fox Sports One, but with a C. Guys, just welcome back to ShawnSierraSports, Lorin Cox. Lorin, what's up, buddy? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. You really do make me want to shout, so I'm glad to be here on with you.
Oh man, that was crazy. So twice we hung out, wasn't it, this summer?
Yeah, you were there for Chicago, the second show, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are fun times.
Great times. This is great times right now. Is this Chicago Bears season? Okay, the Bears have surpassed, I would say, most people's expectations. Okay, with the win total, they're at 9. I was one of the people who said they can get 10 wins. Some people said 10, some people said 12, other people said 6, 7, 8, and obviously those numbers are well surpassed. How happy are you right now with where the Bears are, generally speaking? 9-4. Caleb's still learning. Still see flashes of brilliance from him. Still see some places he needs to improve, but still 9-4. And with a win and a Denver win, back atop the NFC North.
Yeah, everything is going the way that we wanted to see it go, and that to me that goes beyond just the number of wins and the number of losses in there. But like the whole idea of this season was not to be the big push for the Super Bowl and like, oh, they're going to go on the big run right now, but it was to be really confident in the direction of the team and the franchise and get through this year feeling like, okay, your quarterback is very clearly long-term quarterback of the future and someone who you're confident is going to develop into something potentially great. Your head coach is very clearly the head coach of the future and the right guy for the job. And that this whole year was all about being right on the precipice of something more for 2026. And for me, like, it was less important of like, okay, is that 9 wins? Is that 10 wins? Is that 8 wins? Like, it's more about what they're setting up for next year and beyond. And that has been mission accomplished at this point. And so, like, for me, anything kind of beyond where we are now is kind of house money and gravy. And it's a lot more fun to watch it and enjoy that way, feeling like, well, they've kind of accomplished everything. Like, they've met all the expectations for this year already. So we got 4 more weeks of like, sure, let's roll with it, see what happens. And they get in the playoffs and play some games. Hey, sure, let's see what happens. But if they lose their first playoff game, no one's going to be like, oh, wow, what a big disappointment the Bears were this year, because they've already cleared expectations.
Yeah, they really have. And I have, after beating Philly the way they did, after coming back in Green Bay, and I think the first half was more Ben Johnson not being familiar calling a game, this rivalry game, with so many implications, because remember, he's still a head coach. He's still a rookie head coach. And the way that they hung and adjustments they made in the second half of Green Bay, and they came back and literally handed it to the Packers. And you could tell because that D-line was gassed at the end of that game. How confident are you? Or where do you think their ceiling is to this season? Because I'm scared to say, I'm like, man, they can get to the NFC Championship game. We got a team that runs the ball. We got a team that takes the ball away. Statistically, our defense isn't good, but we make plays when plays need to be made. How far do you think this team can go if things continue to progress? And don't forget, Caleb's going to keep getting better, and this run game ain't going anywhere. The biggest variable is, can we take the ball away? How far do you think this team could go?
Yeah, I tend to feel like in the NFL, it's hard to go on the big run like your first time in the dance. And the Washington Commanders were building that way a little bit last year, but like there's something to be said about like playoff experience and the Bears not having a ton of that. Now that being said, I think it depends entirely on their path because I think this like they're as good as any of the teams in the NFC, and it just kind of depends on who they end up matching up with in the bracket based on seeding and how that plays out. Like, I think I would be confident in the Bears winning a playoff game against any team except the Los Angeles Rams. And I think a Packers game in the playoffs is a coin toss. But like everybody else, I'm not that worried about Sam Darnold and the Seahawks, for example, or whoever wins the NFC South or whoever wins the NFC East, if it's the Eagles or and if it's the Buccaneers. Like, I think the Bears can win playoff games against those teams. So to me, it becomes a matter of like, do you face the Rams or the Packers in the second round, or can you get by, with some of the less good NFC playoff teams, and then you can get all the way to the NFC championship game, and then, you give your best shot against a team like the Rams, the Packers. But like those two to me are kind of the cream of the NFC right now that I'm less confident in on any given Sunday, the Bears being able to win. I think they can beat those teams, but like if I was, putting money on it, I might lean against the Bears in a playoff matchup between those two teams. But I think the rest of the NFC, I think the Bears are going to be the better team in those games.
Yeah, I ain't scared. I ain't scared of anybody in the NFC. And it doesn't mean I don't think we can lose to anybody, but I'm not scared. I'm not like, oh, damn, we got to go to LA. Or, oh, damn, we got to go to Philly. Oh, damn, we got to go to Tampa. There's no team in the NFC that has me staying up late at night concerned because of our run game, because of the opportunistic defense we have, because of the growth of Caleb that we've seen from week 1 to December 12th, 2025. We've seen noticeable marked improvement from this young man at the quarterback position in this particular system. And so I didn't want to do it, but I was like, I could see him getting to the NFC Championship game. And if you get to the NFC Championship game, shit, all bets are off because it takes one doozy quarterback on the opposing team or one star receiver to go out or tweak his knee, and now they're screwed, and now you're in the big dance. So I actually have thought about the Bears possibly making the Super Bowl. Now, mind you, a lot of things got to go right, but I wasn't even thinking that this at the beginning of the season. Like it's a year to grow, year to learn, year for Caleb. It's just, and now with what they're doing, I could see him getting to the NFC title game. If they get there, shit, all bets are off, man. And wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? If we rolled the back of our 3 big new interior offensive linemen and a rejuvenated Darnell Wright and a rookie left tackle, we rolled those guys to the NFC Championship game or maybe even dare say the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen teams that are worse than the Bears go on runs like that. I mean, it's easy to point to like, that 7-9 Giants team that ended up going to the Super Bowl, right? Or there've been some bad teams, but there is, like you said, a lot of luck involved with that, and matchups and like, well, does the team you're playing against have an injury or whatever as you kind of go along your path? But you could easily see this young team that's ascending, like, have everything kind of cement and glue together the way it did against the Eagles, right? Where it just felt like, man, everything is working the way you want it to, and like this is what it's supposed to look like when this team is really firing on all cylinders. And the fact that we've seen them do it this season and do it against a team that's first place in their conference, like in their division, that's a playoff team. Like they've done it at a high level against playoff teams, tells you that they can then do it at a high level against playoff teams in the playoffs in time to get there. I think I'm most worried about the pass rush being something that eventually, like Dennis Allen is doing a good job of blitzing and trying to generate a pass rush, and that's working. But I just wonder if by the time you get to the playoffs against some of the better teams, if there's just going to be not quite enough horses up front on defense to get you where you want to go, especially if we'll see, I guess, if the secondary can get and stay healthy, then, that maybe it changes the conversation. But the fact that Kyler Gordon can't even get done with a groin injury, before in warmups before a game, and all of a sudden you're back on the cornerback injury cycle here, it just feels like they can't quite escape that. But they're getting healthier at the right time. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, that was a big blow to this defense right before game time, because you practiced all week with what you're going to do, with who you're going to do it with. And now you got to change on the fly, literally change on the fly. And, I think that there's a big difference if Kyler Gordon's guarding Christian Watson as opposed to C.J. Garner-Johnson on that short crosser where he just took it and ran away from him. I think Kyler Gordon might be able to tackle him, which is another score. I think so much was had to be done on the fly once they realized he re-injured his groin. Talk to me about what Ben Johnson said. How do you think he's kind of getting annoyed with the injury? You know, when they asked him about it, and he said, "Yeah, we don't know." You know, he basically, I don't know. Well, we'll see. Hopefully, he can get back. I don't know. But how do you think he feels about Kyler Gordon? Not personally, but just his situation.
Yeah, I mean, the frustration's got to be very real there, especially because it's just like it's the same types of recurring things now across like multiple players, right? When Jalen Johnson misses all that time, then he comes back and then he's got another soft tissue thing, and then he's back and now he's playing, but he's not 100% out there very clearly. And Kyler Gordon is playing for a game and then he's out for 4 more, and he's playing for a game, he's out for 4 more, and like TJ Edwards has done that same kind of like back and forth soft tissue thing, and I agree. I don't think it's like personal thing against Kyler Gordon. Like I've seen Bears fans saying like, oh, maybe they're frustrated, they're gonna trade him or whatever, and regret giving him that big contract. Like I think it's too early to jump that far. Like he hasn't had these kinds of injury issues across his career. So this feels to me like, you know, a series of, I don't want to diminish it to just being bad luck, but sometimes with injuries and the soft tissue stuff, you know, you give it rest and you give what you can, but sometimes, you know, over the course of an NFL season, you can't really truly give it enough rest to get 100%. So then it's just kind of injury management over the course of the year. And I'm sure in the case of that, like you get some muscles that are overcompensating for the injured muscles, and then those overcompensating muscles get hurt. And that's how this sort of like cycle of soft tissue injuries keep happening. And I can see with Ben Johnson, like you just want some certainty of like, if he's going to miss time, like then he's out. I don't have to game plan thinking he's going to be there and then be surprised when he's not. I need to know if he's in or out, and not this like last minute we thought he was going to be in, so we planned on that, and then he's out, and now all of a sudden our plan is out the window. Like that's got to be the most frustrating part.
It really does. Talk to me about this. Yeah, let's go to the other side of the ball. Oh no, let's stay on the defensive side. 1 or 2 more questions. Secondary's hurt. We need a pass rush. Our linebackers are back, most of them. How do you see this? Because Cleveland's going to run the ball too. Because if they look at the metrics, they're like, wait a minute. The Bears take the ball away, but they are not good in run defense. How do you see this Dennis Allen compensating in for his lack of a pass rush and their poor ranking in run defense to stop this run? Because if you don't stop this run, Quinshon Judkins got some speed. He can take it to the house, and that's the last thing you want to do on a minus 20 degree day is have a running back take it to the house from 60, 80 yards out.
Yeah, I think generally this Bears run defense, even when they've been banged up, they've been pretty good at limiting the explosive runs. And I realize like Josh Jacobs had, especially that third down where no one tackled him and he broke through. I mean, Jesus. But like, but like generally, even when they've had games where they're giving up a lot of rushing yards, it's 5-6 yards at a time. Oh yeah, there you go. Right. Like how Gervon Dexter kind of phones it in there, how Jalen Johnson kind of phones it in there, and then DeMarco Jackson just comes flying in and doesn't really have much. I mean, they're all just trying to deliver the knockout blow instead of just tackling.
Crazy idea. Wrap up, tackle.
Yeah, it's crazy concept. But more so like the Bears have limited the explosive runs. So like, and I'm not so worried. Like if the Browns are getting 4 or 5 yards of carry, like obviously you don't want to allow that. But even in the games when the Bears have given up a lot of rushing yards, I think about the Giants game, the Steelers game, even the Commanders, they were giving up some yards to Jaden Daniels. They're like, it has felt like opposing offenses need a little bit more. Like to beat this Bears team and to beat this Bears defense, you need a great running game helps, but then like you got to be able to get a little bit something extra from your quarterback and the rest of your offense to like get points. I think the Bears are fine with you getting 4 or 5 yards of carry. If it's going to take you 12 plays to get down the field, you're going to screw up somewhere along that way. Like we saw Jalen Hurts do it. We saw Mason Rudolph do it. We saw Joe Flacco do it. And the problem was like, we didn't really see Jordan Love do it all that much. And that they had the explosive passing game to kind of overcome that when they weren't, like the opposing offense is going to need those big plays. And I don't think Cleveland is going to be able to get them big enough. And I think even if they're running the ball well, like they're going to need more from Shedeur and from that offense. And with 4 injured starting offensive linemen, like I'm not overly worried about the Browns offense being able to pull a fast one on the Bears, especially because I think blitzing Shador will be a little bit more effective than it was against Jordan Love, who's one of the best in the NFL at seeing the blitz get an open guy downfield.
Shador had a good game last week, 360 plus, 3 tutties, 1 rushing tutty. Are you concerned with him at all? Him and Jerry Jeudy seem to be on the same page now after their sideline heated exchange the week before. Are you concerned with him taking another step, or would you think that could have just been a little blip in the radar and the Bears come back and or do you think the Bears are just really just pissed off and really on a mission because of the way, one, they lost the Green Bay Packers arch rival, but 2, the way they lost, knowing they had every opportunity to win?
Yeah, I think it's all of the above for me, where it's like I am a little bit worried about Shador Sanders getting a big play or 2 in there, but also feel like the Bears are going to take this pretty seriously and not overlook them and look ahead to Green Bay or assume that this is a bad team that they can just kind of take their time and waltz over. Like I think Shador has like a really I don't want to be too generous with the comparison, but like a really small drop of like some Caleb Williams in him, in the sense of like he's good at extending those plays and getting out of the pocket. And I've been impressed in his willingness to throw the ball away and try and avoid some of those negatives. Like he's taken a few sacks that maybe he shouldn't, but like he's pretty fearless moving around the pocket and throwing the ball downfield in a way that has some shades of Caleb Williams, but just like a few quarterback developmental steps earlier in that process. So yeah, it would not surprise me at all if he uncorks a deep ball that they're able to complete downfield that you feel like you don't want to see the Bears defense give up against a bad Browns offense. But I'm again left feeling like the Browns can get 1 or 2, and that's not going to be enough in this game. Like there's just not enough consistency there where like they could have a big run or a decent running game and 1 or 2 big plays from Shador Sanders, and that's not going to beat the Chicago Bears right now. That was good enough to almost beat the Tennessee Titans and good enough to beat the Raiders 2 weeks ago. It's not going to be good enough to beat a team like the Chicago Bears.
Well, I hope not, and because this is a must-win situation. I'm glad that Ben Johnson put that out there. All right, so his team understands that this, you can't overlook anybody. We haven't done anything. You haven't won a division. You haven't won the number 1 seed in the conference. All right, you ain't done shit, to be honest. So you have no reason to look past anybody by any stretch. Do you think that these guys are going to be ready to roll and they'll come out with a different energy than they have last game and the last couple times, where they, especially last week, they just came out just like, I don't know, just like not ready, not uninspired.
Yeah, because sometimes it feels like Caleb Williams comes out and he's like trying to go right, and he's throwing these passes too high. He's not stepping into them properly. Like he's not setting his feet. It's like I don't know if too amped up is the word, but I think he's forcing it a little bit too much and just trying and it makes the easy throws then more difficult. And so I hope there can be this sort of like, hey, let's slow down a little bit. It's going to be freaking cold. I'm in -20 or whatever it's going to be outside. So let's make everything like not slow in terms of like low energy, right? But like, let's just control everything. Let's be very intentional about coming out, establishing a tone, setting the tone right away from the beginning and saying, hey, like we are the better football team. Go out there and show it and, jam it down their throats, dominate them at the line of scrimmage, all that kind of stuff. Like I'm generally pretty confident in Ben Johnson's ability to kind of send that message to the team of like, hey, this game absolutely does matter. I think Dan Campbell's Lions were really good at that, of like taking it seriously and being, inspired and ready to go against every opponent and not feeling like that was a team that ever took the foot off the gas or took weeks off. And I think we're seeing that from Ben Johnson pretty well this season. It's just a matter of like him being a first-time head coach, kind of finding his way to do it. And like, if anything, like we want to see him run the ball and slow things down more. Like, it's not like he's afraid to keep the foot on the gas per se. It's like we want to see him not get more conservative, but just like slow things down in this way and not kind of stick with the passing game so much. And I think this is a matchup that, like, with the weather and everything, like necessitates a more like deliberate, slowed down type of control the clock, control the line of scrimmage, control the field position type of game, as opposed to like, hey, let's get Caleb firing the ball early and get the passing game going vertically. Like, you don't need all that against Cleveland. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I agree. And I think Ben may have outthunk himself. It's an old word I just made up. When he started throwing the ball, he strayed away from the run in the first half last week. And as you saw at the end of the game, those D linemen were tired. And for me, it's like, okay, well then start earlier. Stick to your identity. You understand Caleb's still learning. You understand Caleb can make plays late in the game. You have that for all my spade players. You have that big joker in your hand. You have that. Caleb can do shit at the end of the games that you just can't coach. How about we do stuff earlier in the game so we may not have to need that big joker? And to me, that was run the ball. All right, let's not have Caleb still learning. He's still getting comfortable under in structure, still doing all this, okay? But why don't I lean on these on these two running backs? Why don't I lean on this offensive line? Darnell Wright's playing at an unbelievable level. These big three are finally in sync. Ozzie Trapillo's playing very well for a rookie left tackle. Why not? If Ben decides to lean on that run game and not put it on Caleb, I think this game goes. First of all, it doesn't go by quickly because we run the ball. But secondly, I don't think Cleveland has a chance. We're gonna score too many times, okay? And then they're gonna be coming from behind. And the one thing you don't want, I know we don't have a great pass rush, but you don't want to start throwing the ball 40, 50 times against our defense because our DBs are very, very opportunistic. And we don't, as we've seen and shown, we don't need a pass rush to create takeaways. We don't need one.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to like Caleb and the start of that game, I agree with you that like, yes, they should start running the ball earlier. I try and see Ben Johnson's side of it, and I can kind of understand his mindset, even if I might do it differently. But I think he looks at it and says, my running game is really good, and I can establish the run at any time. If I do it right away, or if I do it in the middle of the second quarter, whenever I decide to, we'll be able to run the ball. So why don't I then start out by trying to give Caleb Williams some easy lollipop throws, quick little out to Luther Burden on that first play. And they pass on 5 of the first 6 plays of that game. It's like, let's get Caleb into a rhythm right away. And then we can run the ball because we can start running the ball whenever we want to, but we can't always jumpstart Caleb Williams whenever we want to. So let's try that from the beginning. And then after a couple of drives, it's like, okay, that's not working. It's time for, let's go to the running game. Like we're going to have to figure this out on the fly. And I can see where he says early in the game, we can afford that time to try and get the passing game going as opposed to needing it to get going later on. But also I wonder if on the flip side, if you had gotten the running game going first, does that take the pressure off of Caleb Williams? Does that give you more flexibility to sprinkle in some passing plays and get him in the rhythm that way with some confidence in the offense working well enough? But I also feel like Ben Johnson knows a little bit more about offensive game planning and what Caleb needs than I do. So I tend to feel like, well, he knows what he's doing. So maybe I'll give him that benefit of the doubt that he's taken the approach that he truly does know what's best for the team. And it didn't work against the Packers, but like maybe the process was the right one, but the results were not. That if Caleb goes 4 for 5 in those first 2 throws, then it's also a very different ball game. But the fact that he's forcing him a little bit and rushing him a little bit and overthrowing it a little bit, like it makes Ben Johnson's strategy look poorly. Like, of course, why didn't you run the ball? You're a much better running team. Why didn't you do that? But had it worked with Caleb and he's locked in and firing on all cylinders, then you're scoring points earlier, you're building a lead, and then you're not trying to come back in the third quarter and make it a closer game and eventually, try and retake the lead.
I look at it a little different. I'm like, my first play would have been a tight end pop. Would have been play action. Okay. Because what it's going to do a couple things. One, the defense is like, oh, okay, you want to start off with a run? All right, here we come. Linebackers downhill. Quick, fast, come downhill because we've already established our run game in previous games. They saw what we did to Philly. They manhandled. We saw what we've done to other teams. Okay. These linebackers are coming down. Oh, shit. Now they just hit Colson Loveland or Cole Kmet 8 yards beyond the line of scrimmage and 7 yards in front of the safety. Now it really messes them up. Now, like, okay, shit, what do we do? Because now we were thinking they're running, and now you really got the defense on the back on their heels. And that's where I was thinking, like, come on, man, come in, first play, hold the ball out, pull it back, hit the tight end, get it going. Even if you don't get a first down, it still signifies, oh shit, now they got us. Because as a former defensive coordinator, I hated that when we played and they just had me on my heels the whole game. And as far as play calling, that sucks. And you get them on the heels, man, we can go down and score quick, fast, in a hurry, and all of a sudden, and not saying that's going to win the game, but man, when you got the defensive coordinator thinking a lot as opposed to, okay, I'm reacting and what I can do here, I think, Ben, it would have been better. I would have loved for Ben to have done that and really put this defensive coordinator in a bind and really start sometimes outthinking yourself, because now you're like, oh shit, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? He can do anything at any time. And I think that's where my thing was, like, come on, Ben, you're smarter than that. Put these guys on their heels initially, and then come back and punch them in the mouth, punch them in the mouth, punch them in the mouth. Oh, go up top. That's what I was hoping with Ben, and he didn't do that. But hopefully he picks up on it. Talk to me a little bit about this whole situation that we got going here. DJ Moore, highest paid Bear, $111 million. He's got like 50 yards receiving all year. He's got about 4 blown up plays where he got his ass whooped in 2 plays. Talk to me about what you think the issue is and how you think that situation can or will be resolved.
Yeah, it's hard to like pin it down into like one specific issue, because it always feels like there's just a little bit of something off here and there, and that it's not like, oh, like he's consistently dropping every pass, or like, oh, like he's consistently getting overthrown like vertically, like he's not getting enough speed underneath stuff. Like when you look across a lot of what he hasn't been able to hold on to, like it just feels like it's always something a little bit different. Sometimes it's too high, sometimes it's a little bit behind him, sometimes there's a miscommunication, and it just feels like it feels like the kind of stuff that we just can't quite get a definitive answer to. Like, is he running his routes to the right spots in depth? I mean, they're not going to throw him under the bus publicly and say, yes, he's the one who's screwing us, because he's a starting caliber player, a well-paid player. Like, they're not just going to throw him under the bus and bench him and not use him in the offense, especially now with Rome Odunze and Olamide Zaccheaus dealing with injuries this week. So I think there will be a natural like necessity of like, hey, he becomes earlier in the progression with all these other injuries at receiver right now. And like he's becomes a bigger focal point in the offense in terms of the role that he plays in certain pass routes, especially as the offensive line is blocking better. Like, and I just think we also haven't seen him really be that guy on those scramble drill plays, that maybe he's got to hustle a little bit more when the play breaks down and find ways to get open. Like, I still think there's a couple little aspects of that. So it's like, it's all these like little things that kind of add up to this bigger picture of this just isn't working the right way, but you can't like just fix this one thing and all of a sudden the targets and the catches will all be there. Like, if any, like, I think the best thing you could do is just like manufacture some touches for him. It's like, okay, get him some screen passes, get him some plays that are designed for DJ Moore, but you don't want to like derail your whole offense just to get one guy going for his sake. Like, you got to do what's going to score you points. And if that's Devin Duvernay in there on a big scramble drill play last week, making a 25-yard catch, like, they'll take who's ever going to be there. And like, sorry, DJ, like, offense is bigger than you. So if you're not able to do it, like, they'll find somebody else that can.
Yeah, but you've also put DJ in. He asked Olamide to block and he got him blown up. Okay, you know what I mean? Like, you can't keep putting your highest paid receiver in bad situations. All right, you got to block. It bugs me when you want to give him the ball and all of a sudden you can't. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's frustrating. But listen, I appreciate your time, buddy. Do me a huge favor before you go. Let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
Yeah, of course. Happy to do it anytime. Really appreciate you having me on. You can hear me 5 days a week over on the Locked On Bears podcast on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. And you can follow me on Twitter at Cox Sports 1. I always say it's like Fox Sports 1, but with a C.
Great stuff, buddy. I appreciate it. Bear down, baby. Last thing before you go, give me a prediction.
For the Browns game or the season?
Oh, Browns game.
Oh, yeah. I think it's going to be lower scoring than we want it to. Like, I think we'd love to see the Bears put up 35 and just like dominate this team. But something like 17-7 feels pretty reasonable to me. Like Bears are in control, but the final score doesn't feel as representative of how badly the Bears were or how much better of a team the Bears were on Sunday.
Okay, here you go. Lorin's predictions. 17-7 Bears. Great stuff, buddy. We'll talk soon. Thank you.
Sounds great. Thank you.
All righty. So Lorin has 17-7 Bears. Great stuff. I want to thank him for coming on, talking with us. Do me a favor. What are your predictions? Your score. Give me your scores. What do you think the final score will be on Sunday? Put them in the chat. I'll tell you mine. Let's see. Give me King Book of World 24-9 Bears, I presume. Correct, King Book of World? Black Diamond said, Lorin, that logic will get you beat. That's arrogance instead of humbling yourself and sticking to what works. Yeah, like I can get to my run game anytime I want. Yeah. Of course. Just checking, King Book of World. Just checking. Just checking, just making sure, just confirming, that's all. Oh, man. So here's mine. I think the Bears are going to be able to put up some points. It's the South Side, 27-10. Bears over the Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown. Here we go now. Oh, look at it. Okay, Black Diamond says 24-21. Shador's 2 TDs, 1 running. We win on the last second Kyle Monangai tutty. Okay. It's going to be a close one, huh? All right. Going to be a close one. I think the Bears, this is me putting a lot of faith in Ben Johnson. I think the Bears will be able to come out in a situation where they're pissed. A situation where they're methodical. Right? They are not in a good mood. You lost a game that you had every opportunity to win. Now you got to put it out of your mind. Get ready for this game. And sometimes that's the best thing for you, that next game. Okay, you get to take out your frustrations, your anger, your embarrassment on your opponents. And this Cleveland Brown team is not very good. They have some talented players, but they're not very good as a team. And that's the issue. Is we need to take advantage of them not being good as a team. Okay? The one thing, the defense that I'm concerned about is the lack of pass rush, but also, all right, I'm going to say this like I said last week. You cannot give up big plays. They have a guy, Jerry Jeudy, who can make big plays. We have to be the deepest man on the field. Jerry Jeudy cannot be the deepest guy on the field, otherwise it's a touchdown. All right. It is a touchdown. And not saying Shador has a rocket arm. I don't think he has an arm like Caleb's. But he can get the ball deep. And he can get it to these guys in stride. In stride. You know, and that's a great trait to have as a quarterback. Getting the ball to your playmakers in stride. King Book of World, I could not agree with you more. He says also Stefanski is a moron. I couldn't agree. Okay? This guy here, you buried him 5th on the depth chart. Okay, you obviously don't want him on your team. You didn't want him on your team, and it shows. All right, he led you to the game tying touchdown. Well, all you needed was the extra point. You decided to go for 2, and you took him off the field. You took him off the field. The guy who just led the scoring drive to bring it within 1, you take off the field. Your quarterback who just brought you to within 1 point, the extra point pending, and you take him off the field. I've never seen something so ridiculous in my life. So bass-ackwards in my life. Never. And hopefully they continue to do stupid shit like that. Hopefully. Because if you do, man, not only are we going to beat you, you're going to lose the game. We won't have to win it. You're going to lose it. You will lose it. And there's reports that he doesn't even want to be there anymore. Kevin Stefanski wants to get out of that. And what did Deion ever do to you? Is my question. It's got to be a backstory for you to have such animosity toward his son and embarrass his son the way you've tried to this season. What's the backstory? What did Deion ever do to you? Because the way you played this young man, the way you played around with this young man and his talent is criminal. If your job is to win as many games as possible, he should have been in there a lot sooner. People weren't talking about Dylan Gabriel. Yeah, he's a nice piece, nice QB, but he's 5'6". A lot of air. You got Shedeur, 6'2", 6'3", nice size quarterback. You saw him perform at Colorado. You saw him perform at Colorado. You saw him win games for them. You saw the leadership, the comeback ability, the fearlessness that he had as a leader. You're going to try and play him like a fool? And my hat's off to Shedeur. Okay? You've been nothing but a professional. And I know that has everything to do with his dad. I know he was probably frustrated as all get out that he wasn't starting. He was 5th. But he said all the right things. Even to the reporter who was trying to bait him. He's like, I'm never going to go against the coach. That's the decision. I want the ball in my hands. He goes, of course, but it's not. I'm a competitor. I want the ball in my hands every play. But you're not going to get me to go against the coach's call. So great job by Deion preparing his son. Great job by Shedeur adhering to the coaching, to his dad's coaching. Oh man, Lucky Lefty says total dysfunction in Cleveland. Bears bounce back 28-10. That's a nice one. A nice score. That's a nice solid. See, I got 27-13. I just think they kick one extra field goal. The Browns. I'm hoping that they come out ready to go. I'm hoping they come out with passion, energy, and on a mission. We're on a mission from God. Hope they're on a mission. And the way you set the tone is that first drive. Offensive linemen need to be moving people. Our defense needs to be hitting people. Because I'll tell you what, I played in cold games. Not as low as 20 degrees below zero, but I played in cold games. Single digits, 20s. I played in those games. And man, oh man, oh man. Those hits hurt a little more. They sting a little more. They'll have you making business decisions as the game goes on. You know, like the business decision that Jalen Johnson made last week when he didn't go low on Josh Jacobs on the 3rd and 1, where they would have stopped him for a negative gain, for a loss, a TFL. Yeah. This is going to be a great barometer to see what kind of coach Ben Johnson is. Do you understand the homework assignment? Get these boys ready to play. Get them fired up. Get them so angry that they lost the Green Bay game that this is their outlet, because it is. This is your outlet. Here you can beat the hell up on the next team that's in your way, and that's the Cleveland Browns. Lucky Lefty says, Bears still control their own destiny. Yes, they do. Went out, we playing playoff football in Soldier Field, baby. Yeah. You beat Green Bay, you go back atop. Hell, here's the awesome part. Green Bay could lose. Green Bay loses. We win. We're back atop the NFC North. We beat Green Bay next week. We've all but clinched the division. So we need help from the Rams. I'm sorry, we need help from the Lions, who are playing the Rams, because we still legitimately have a shot at the number 1 overall seed. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? We still have a chance for the number 1 overall seed in the NFC. That is crazy. Ben Johnson's first year, with Caleb still not completely grasping the offense yet. And we could end up being the number 1 seed in the NFC. It's the Ben Johnson effect. It's the Ben Johnson effect. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait, because we're going to see, is Ben Johnson going to have these guys ready? And my whole thing is, why do you need a coach to get you ready? You just played in the game. You just played in the game that you should have won, had every opportunity to win. You should be ready. This Bear team needs to be ready from Jump Street, from the coin toss. Lucky Lefty Devani says that tie against the Cowboys is going to cost Green Bay the division, even with them possibly going 5-1 in the division. Yeah. Yep. That tie. That tie's going to bite you. And it could end up working up for us. One of the things that I'm concerned about is what they're going to do with Myles Garrett. You're going to run right at them, because their run defenses can give up some yards as well. All right, are you going to be afraid of running at Myles Garrett or anyone? I hope not. I hope you have the confidence in your run game. I hope you have the confidence in your run game to say we can run on anybody. See, Myles Garrett is phenomenal at rushing the passer. 20 sacks already. Let's make him be phenomenal at running or stopping the run. Because if you stop the run, guess what? His pass rush is going to slow down. If he's stopping the run. If he's getting carried by Monungai and Swift 2 or 3 yards downfield after he makes contact. Like Rocky IV. If he bleeds, he's a man. So go at him. That's my philosophy. Okay, you think you're big and bad? All right, we got you. We're coming at you. My man coming at you. Hey, you know I had a gotcha. Oh, my Cypress Hill people. But let's go after them. Then let's not forget they got a nice little rookie linebacker as well. Cleveland does, that's been making plays. So we need our run game. Our offensive lineman needs to say, hey, it's going to be 20 below, 20, 30 below with the wind chill. Let's not have Caleb throw the ball unless necessary. Let's put it on our backs. Let's wind the clock. Let's win by attrition by wearing these suckers down and go home and call it a day. Offensive line needs to be fired up. This week I want to run first play. I want to hand off. Give me a jumbo package. No Diddy. Pause. Bring in a jumbo personnel. Bring in jumbo personnel first play. One guy, you can bring in another tackle, have him report as eligible, or you can bring in Smythe, Durham Smythe. Bring him and have him as part of the jumbo personnel group. Lucky says a lot of misdirection is how you counter Garrett, even though he's pretty much a mutant and unstoppable. Can't let him pin his ears back and go after Caleb. No. King Hogo, hi-yo. Jumbo package, hi-yo. Let's run right at him. This is where I want the confidence to say, we got a great run game. Stop it. We have a great run game. Stop it if you can. Stop it if you can. On the teams that I played on, that was it. We had the best run game. It was the Chargers, it was Tony Bell and me in the backfield. It was the Thunder. I got Mark Micah and myself. And we knew. We just knew. You ain't stopping us. We just knew. That's the confidence I want this Bears team to get to. That's the level of confidence I want them to get to. You ain't stopping this run game. You might be able to sack Caleb, try to sack him with a coverage sack because no one's open, but you ain't stopping this run game. And that is where I need this team to get to. I think they're on their way, but also Ben Johnson has to remember this as well. That's your bread and butter. That you dance with who brung you, and who brung you was a run game. Ben Johnson can't try and be the smartest guy in the room again this week. I say, hey, let's throw the ball all over the place. Let's see, You don't want to put Myles Garrett in a position where he gets to pin his ears back, just like Damani said. You don't want him where he can just pin back and go get Caleb. Keep him off balance. Keep him off balance. And you do that by running the ball. You do that by play action. You do that, with quick screens. You do that with that's it. But keep him off balance. Hey, listen, guys. Next week, it's official, baby. What it is, yo. What's up? The official Bears viewing / holiday party. Sports Zone Chicago's Bears viewing / holiday party at local cantina, 5130 West 95th Street in Oak Lawn. Man, pre, half, and post game shows. I'd say it starts at 6 o'clock. I'd say get there around 6 or even sooner, maybe 5:45. It's going to get packed. Like Diamond, get there early, Papa. I'll tell you, it's going to get packed. I've already reserved some tables for some people. I reserved some tables for some people. It's going to be a great time, especially after the Bears win, reclaim the North, and never give it back. That's a week from tomorrow. It's a week from tomorrow. Saturday night. Woo-wee. And also, don't forget, check out your Sports Zone Chicago swag shop. So make sure you go to the website, sportzonechicago.com. Check out your swag. Order your swag. All right, you're going to need it next week anyway, next Sunday. But order your swag. Get a Sports Zone Chicago t-shirt, get a Sports Zone Chicago hat, a hoodie. All right, Coaching Matters, FGB, Cigar Fanatic. And we got a whole bunch of cool stuff. Make sure you order your stuff. Order your gifts now. Christmas is 2 weeks from yesterday. Are you freaking kidding me? So less than 2 weeks away, Christmas is. Get your favorite Bear fan. Get him an FGB shirt. All right, a little more classy. It doesn't say fuck Green Bay. We know what it means, but it doesn't say it. All right, get your people your Coaching Matters shirts. All right, your Sports Zone Chicago shirts. You get one like this or one with the logo. All right, or hoodie. Make sure you order those so I can get here in time for Christmas. Listen, I'm going to cut this short a little bit, and I got to go pick up the warden. So I haven't been able to get there with enough time while she's working out. They get there a little after 11:30 and they're done. So I want to get there a little earlier today and get a video of her working out. Yeah. Hey, it says thanks for a great show, dear Shawn. Monica, Mondo, Dito, Jeremiah, Patty, Junior. Thank you. You know I love you guys. Those are my mans in them. My fams in them. I want to thank you guys, all you guys, for tuning in and give me the love and support that you do. I greatly appreciate it. You guys have a phenomenal weekend. All right, please do. Again, remember, let your loved ones know you love them because tomorrow is promised to no one. I reached out, man, one of my guys I hadn't seen and actually inadvertently ran into him at the Sox game this year. He was at the company outing. He was bare, and it was crazy. I was like, whoa, Manny. He's coming on Saturday, next week. All right, here's a good chance for you to meet up with your people at Bears games, watch parties. If you want to throw a few back, have some wings, have some tacos, whatever he's got over at local cantina. Come on out, have a good time. All right, create memories. All right, so listen, I'm going to go get the warden. I should post a picture of her working out so she get there with enough time. All right, you guys have a phenomenal weekend. And hopefully, I get to wear my Bears Victory Monday shirt on Monday. King Booker Wolf says, stay in the house. If I end up towing one of y'all, I'm going to be mad. Oh, man. All right, guys, listen. So for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, guys, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Again, be safe, stay warm, have a great weekend. Your boy is out.
Come on, race the place.